was not voted to be the best driver.
Well, there's a lot of people who have wondered what it's like to drive Rusty Wallace's car or, say, Bill Elliott's. Well, recently we met some people who have.
This is Davey Allison's Ford Thunderbird. Well, almost. It's a radio-controlled stock car, but to the enthusiast of this growing sport, these 1/10 scale replicas may as well be the real thing.
It's as close to real racing as you can get. The only difference is you're not sitting in the car. And that makes it harder to do in some aspects than driving a real race car, because you don't have the seat of the pants feel of the car when it's in the turns and all that.
At the Carolina Rc Speedway in Fort Mill, South Carolina, track owners Fred Penland and George Summerer have constructed a scaled-down version of the Charlotte Motor Speedway, complete with 26-degree banking and a tri-oval. The cars themselves are powered by rechargeable batteries and an electric motor which can generate speeds in excess of 40 miles per hour. So if this mock-up of Darrell Waltrip's Chevy were true to scale, it would be running at over 400 miles per hour. The detail on these cars is strikingly realistic, and the chassis are very high-tech.
They're pretty sophisticated. It's got like a monoshock suspension on it, and it's got an independent front spring suspension. And you can adjust your camber on it, and by just tilting your kingpins back and loosening the front end. So there's, just like a real car, you can do all your other adjustments. You can set your tweaker, your weight on your rears and your front tires, just like a real race car.
And just like the real cars, the competition is fast and furious. Go!
It's a good, inexpensive way to run. It's good competition. It's good, clean fun. Doesn't hurt near as bad when you hit the wall. And it's totally consuming. You can have all kind of troubles on your mind, but once you run that car, you can't think about anything else.
Concentration on the driver's part is essential, but keeping track of these speedsters is handled by a radio transponder placed in each car and relayed to a computer program in the scorer's booth, a program similar to one NASCAR is looking at to help score the real Winston Cup cars.
Because the speeds they run, and it's hard to see the numbers. We ran in a parking lot last year, and we did everything by hand, and it was, there was sometimes that you couldn't get everybody's numbers, so you've got to have a computer system to run on a track like this, or anyway, that way it just helps keep it, there's no conflict.
With big-time driving excitement at a not-so-big-time price, this form of racing is catching on fast, and the drivers already know how to take care of their sponsors.
I'd like to mention that I run the Kodak car, and I work for Eastern Kodak Company, and it's a good company.
The city Tommy Kirkman, who did that story, had a chance to take one of those cars around the track, and he said it wasn't easy.
Well, Tommy's unsafe at any speed. Time now for the mailbox on our only letter today comes from Mr. Godfield, and he's from West Palm Beach, Florida. Ned Jim writes, could you please explain how a ratchet type rear end works and how it differs from a